Sponges are one of the oldest and simplest animal groups alive today, but despite the fact they branched off the animal family tree to become their own thing over 500 million years ago, there's still lots we don't know about them. Now, don't be fooled by their strange appearance. Sponges are animals. They belong to a group called poriferans, and most survive with the same general strategy. They pull water into their bodies through small holes on their outside, filter food out of it, and then pump the water out of a big hole in their top. Poriferans are considered some of the simplest multicellular animals because although they do have cells designed to do different jobs in their bodies, like specific cells for trapping food or moving water, those cells are not arranged together in tissues. This means that sponges have an even simpler body plan than something like a coral or a jellyfish, and their simplicity has served them well because there's over 8,500 living species of sponges on our Earth today. Scientists estimate that sponges have been around for well over 500 million years, but the exact timing of when they first appeared in the fossil record is a matter that's not exactly settled. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, of course. We don't have a good fossil record for sponges because they're squishy, and you would be partially right. But sponges are not as soft as they first appear. Although the majority of their body is made up of softer materials that are less likely to fossilize, they do have a kind of skeleton made out of hard little pointy things called spicules. Those spicules can be made out of different materials, and we do have lots of sponge spicules and full sponges recorded in the fossil record. The first widely accepted, well-preserved spicules recognized in the fossil record are about 580 million years old. There are some older fossils paleontologists claim are from sponges, some of them as old as 700 or 800 million years old, but not everyone agrees that that's what they really are. Now, it wouldn't be unexpected to find fossil sponges that are far older than 580 million years, because estimates for when sponges first evolved based on how closely related modern groups of sponges are to one another puts their ancestry way further back in geologic time than those confirmed fossil spicules. Lucky for us, there are other ways that living things can be preserved in the fossil record. There are certain chemicals that are only produced by living creatures, and when we see those in the rock record, it can be evidence that those animals were alive at the time, even if we don't have physical fossils of their bodies. And there are some chemical traces suggested to be from sponges that are 1.8 billion years old. But most paleontologists agree that there hasn't been any strong evidence of sponges in the fossil record before about 700 million years ago. If the whole question of when they first evolved wasn't confusing enough, there's also still questions about what fossil animals belong in the group Porifera, and even how living sponges are related to one another and to all other animals. For a long time, it was thought that all living sponges belonged to a single group, and that group was the first branch on a family tree that eventually led to all other types of animal life, even us. But some scientists now think that sponges are not a single group, but that every living group of sponge represents its own branch off the main trunk along the way to all other multicellular animals. No matter how long they've been here or how they are related to each other and everything else, sponges have come a long way from those humble beginnings. They now live in both salt and fresh water. They come in all shapes and sizes and colors and build giant deep water reefs. Some species have even evolved to be carnivorous and prey on fish. So it seems our spongy friends, both living and extinct, still have some surprises in store for us. I'm just surprised I made it through that entire thing without making a SpongeBob joke.